Who can take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew, cover it in chocolate and a miracle or two? The Candyman. The Candyman can. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Oh, wrong movie. Moving on. So Candyman is directed by Nia DaCosta, is produced by Jordan Peele, and it's a reboot, sequel, reimagining of Candyman, and it stars Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Teyonah Parris, and it's about this artist who learns about the origins of Candyman, becomes invested in it, and maybe crosses one too many lines in bringing Candyman back to life. So this was a movie I was really looking forward to when it was supposed to come out last year, but then obviously it got delayed so many times, and finally we're getting it out there. I enjoyed the first Candyman movie quite a bit. Jordan Peele being involved, I'm a big fan of his two movies that he directed, and even though he's producing this one, it looked like he was going to have Jordan Peele's name all over it. And this movie, I don't hate it. I don't hate it by any means. At first I kind of walked away kind of feeling indifferent to the movie. There's definitely a lot of things in this movie that I did like. I really enjoyed a lot of things about this movie. There's some things that I didn't really care for, and I'm not sure if I hate parts of this movie or just feel disappointed in general. So let's start off with the things I did like. I think every performance in this movie is fantastic. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, he's really good in this movie, kind of like portraying both, mainly portraying like his downfall. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. He's really good throughout the entire movie. Teyonah Parris as his girlfriend, I thought she was really good. The side characters don't really do too much, but it's not really focused on them too much. But for what they do a good job. Also, the cinematography of this movie looks absolutely stunning from John Gulserian. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but whatever. It's very gorgeous. It's very creepy. It's definitely has a lot of very Kubrick-esque shots, which I thought was really interesting. And I kind of felt it fit with the tone of this movie. The music by Robert A. Lowe is also really good. It's really creepy. It's really eerie. It's really good. Also, like, the use of, like, the puppets, you kind of saw them in the trailer. I thought that was really well done, really well handled. And, you know, the social message of the movie, it's like you knew Jordan Peele was involved in this movie, so of course there was going to be a social message with the movie. And I feel like this is something that is mixed for me. I do think there are parts of the message that work, but not... It's... Something I really liked about Jordan Peele's two movies that he directed is that the messages in that movie were subtle. And you could watch those movies again and you could go look for something new each time. And you're like, how did I not notice that before? This movie, I feel like, unfortunately, I don't know if I can really go back to it and, like, look at other messages in this movie. I feel like a lot of it is just in your face. It's a little obvious. But there's one that kind of works about how, you know, kind of take some things for granted and how we're connected and how certain people are connected to things from the past and how horrifying that is. And that message works. It's just maybe the whole gentrification subplot doesn't really work. I feel like that one's too heavy-handed, even for Jordan Peele. So also, kind of something that I was mixed about in this movie was, this may be a spoiler to some people, but I kind of don't care. This movie kind of hides a lot of the deaths in this movie. This is a movie where you kind of see other people's perspective of the deaths. And for a while, after seeing it, it's like, well, that was disappointing. But the more I kind of thought of it, it kind of like plays into that message a lot more about, you know, kind of like being connected to the past, and you have your own interpretation of that and how that can be misconstrued the wrong way. I think, even though I don't know if it's well handled, I don't hate it as much as I did when I first saw it. It's like, maybe I kind of was thinking, that's an interesting way to go with this movie. I don't know if it worked out entirely well, but it's like, I just feel like if you're going for a movie that's like blood and gore and all that. You're not going to get it with this movie. Also, as I mentioned, the first Jordan Peele's 2 movies that he directed, obviously this is going to be compared to his 2 other movies, even though he didn't direct this one. Nia DaCosta did. There's way too much exposition in this movie. Coleman Domingo, he gives a good job at this movie as a creepy guy who knows about this Candyman stuff. And a lot of his lines are mostly just exposition. It's just kind of took me out of the movie for a bit. And again, subtlety. Like, Jordan Peele knows subtlety for these movies. And he also co-wrote this movie, so it's like, why couldn't there be anything subtle about that? I don't know. I really just don't know. It just kind of distracted me from the whole movie overall. It's like, oh, we gotta learn about this now. And there are a couple of scenes where it's like, just exposition. Also, kind of 2 things. There was a surprise in this movie that honestly wasn't that surprising because they kind of gave it away on Wikipedia, so whatever. Also, kind of a side note, not just about this movie, but like in movies in general. I don't like it when movies use strobe lights, especially lights that are really fast. I don't have epilepsy or anything, but I just do find it straining on the eyes, and like, unless you absolutely need it, don't use it. It's just really straining on the eyes. I don't understand why this movie did it, other than, the cops flashing lights. It's just really annoying. Just don't do it, okay? It's just, I'm all for, letting an artist, do what they want, but at the same time, I'm like, don't give your viewers epilepsy. That's all I'm saying. So, Candyman, the new version, while the acting is really good, and the score is really good, and the cinematography is great, I'm really interested in what Nia DaCosta is going to do next. I kind of feel like it hides a lot, even though that may be kind of the point. Also, I didn't like the lack of subtlety and heaviness on the exposition. I kind of thought that took away a lot from this movie, unfortunately. So, I don't know if I think it's better than the first movie, but it's definitely a unique movie, so for that reason alone, I'll say it's worth seeing. I'll give it 3 out of 4 stars. See it. So, what'd you think of Candyman? Did you see it? Which movie do you prefer, the original or the new one? Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat, and stay safe. And don't say his name 5 times.